George Floyd. Let that sink in for a little bit. George Floyd. The latest victim of police brutality. But really, police brutality is an understatement. Latest murder victim is much more fitting. George Floyd, a man cuffed, virtually no threat to police or anyone else. George Floyd begged for his life, begged. Onlookers around, powerless, completely powerless. The only option would have been to rush an armed police officer, very likely getting killed themselves. This is not the country I'm used to living in. Put aside the possible racism involved. A human being, defenseless, helpless, murdered by those we entrust to protect us. Murdered. Not just killed, murdered. To achieve what? Seriously, to achieve what? Certainly does not help police relations for anyone. It just creates more distrust, dislike, and even hatred of the police. In my experience, most police are actually decent people. Not those officers. Kneeling on someone's throat, that is not decent. These protectors, peacekeepers, no. No, that officer was neither. So, What did this officer manage to do besides murdering someone? Certainly, he did not help relations between communities and police officers. Quite the opposite. A very, in my opinion, self centered individual, thinking only about himself, having no thought of future repercussions. How his act will destroy community relations. How his act will endanger the lives of not just more civilians, but also fellow officers. Imagine now the likelihood of simply being shot just because you're a police officer. How much has this man endangered others by his action? Every law enforcement agent across not only this country but the world has been endangered by his actions. People will fear the police. And when people fear something and are backed into a corner, they fight. Sometimes to the death. So now, every law enforcement officer, every one of them, has yet another target on their back. Because of one person's actions. One horrible, greedy, self-centered, despicable version of a human being. Honestly, those words are not even harsh enough. These actions are not okay. Not by any means or reason. Murder is not okay. But murder by those we trust to protect us and keep us safe, I don't have the words for that. So, I'm asking if you can say something about this on social media, to your friends, or even just go outside and scream if you feel that's the best thing for you to do. It's okay to be very angry about this situation. In fact, I believe it's the correct emotion to feel. As a nation, as a world, as human beings, we must make sure this behavior ends.